Hi, I'm Vance, and welcome to Repair and Replace. Convection ovens use a fan to circulate air around the oven, helping the food to cook more evenly. If the convection fan is running, but it's making a lot of noise, then it's a sign that the bearings are starting to fail. Now, if the fan isn't running at all, then it's likely that the bearings have worn out or the motor windings have failed. In this episode, we'll learn how to test the motor with a multimeter, and then we'll install a new convection fan. Let's get started. To begin, you might need a screwdriver, a nut driver, an adjustable wrench, gloves, and a multimeter. Now, if you need a new convection fan, then enter your model number on the AMRE Supply website. This will bring up a parts breakdown with the exact replacement parts listed on the side. Your new fan might be one of several varieties. If the motor is mounted to a large metal disc, then it will be replaced as one unit. If the motor has a small mounting bracket, then the fan blade will need to be removed. In either case, you'll need to access the back of the oven to do the tests and replacement. Always be safe and disconnect the power at the breaker. Since there might be some sharp edges, it's best to wear cut-resistant gloves. Gently pull the range slightly away from the wall. As soon as there's enough room, go in behind and unplug it from the receptacle. Make sure that there isn't too much tension on the cord. Now, slide the range all the way out so you have plenty of room to work. On the back of the oven is a cover panel. Some models have a small panel near the top and a larger panel near the bottom. Now remove the screws. The panel will likely be sitting on several hooks. Simply lift up to remove the panel. In many cases, it can be helpful to remove the oven door. Many doors have locking tabs that secure the door hinges. Use a flat blade screwdriver to release the locks. Next, lift up to move the door off the hinges. Next, remove the oven racks. The inside of the oven can be greasy, so it's best to give it a quick wipe. Now unscrew and remove the fan cover. First, it's best to physically check the fan. If it feels restricted and doesn't spin freely, then the bearings have failed and the motor will need to be replaced. You can also test the motor with a multimeter. Disconnect the wires to isolate the motor. Now set your multimeter to the ohms or resistance setting. Touch the probes to each motor terminal. If the motor is good, you'll see a reading of around 20 to 90 ohms. Now, if the resistance is far outside of that range, or if there's no resistance and no continuity, then the motor will need to be replaced. If you have a motor assembly that uses a large mounting disc, then it can be removed as one piece from inside the oven. Remove the mounting screws that hold the disc in place. Now pull out the assembly. Align the new assembly and tighten the screws. Now replace the fan cover. Next, reconnect the wires. Now, if your fan has a small mounting bracket, then you'll have to remove the fan blade to replace the motor. The blade is held on by a nut, which has a left-hand thread. This will unscrew only when turned clockwise. Do not try to force it, as this can strip the threads. Now, slide the fan blade out. In some models, the mounting screws will be next to the motor shaft. In other models, you'll have to unscrew the motor from the back of the oven. Now, remove the motor assembly. Align the motor and mounting bracket to the back of the oven. Now, tighten the mounting screws. Next, reconnect the wires. Align the center hole of the fan blade with the flat edge of the motor shaft and push it back into place. Now, tighten the nut by turning it counterclockwise. Remember, it's a left-hand thread. Reattach the fan cover and tighten the screws. Now, replace the oven racks. Align the door hinges into the slots on the oven. Next, open the door all the way. Now, push the locking tabs back into place and close the door. Align the back panel and replace the screws. Now plug in the cord and push the range back into place. Next, reconnect the power. Now you can test your oven. If the fan still isn't working, then the problem could be with the control board or the wiring. Control boards are pretty simple to replace, but are non-returnable after installation. So at this point, you might want to call a professional. For more troubleshooting videos on water heaters, furnaces, and appliances, then subscribe to our channel. And if you need help, you can call or visit our AMRE location to talk with our knowledgeable staff. Thanks for watching.